Shayna Baszler just put Liv Morgan on notice, so we'll see what she had to say. We'll also check out some fan theories for Charlotte Flair's return, the interim Raw World Champion, and more. Let's start things off with the interim Raw World Champion. What's that all about? It's been a rough couple of months for Raw because they've been without a full-time world champion for a long time now. The last true full-time world champion Raw had was Bobby Lashley. But since then, Raw's WWE World title went from Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns, two superstars with lighter schedules. The biggest question everyone has been asking is, well, why would WWE combine the world titles and give both of them to one part-time superstar? Well, reports claim that the decision to make Roman Reigns the undisputed champion was made before his new, lighter schedule came into play. The original vision WWE reportedly had in mind was that Roman Reigns, their biggest star, would make regular appearances on both Raw and Smackdown to serve as the world champion for both shows, and so that both networks could benefit from his presence. USA Network and Fox wouldn't have to fight over Roman Reigns, because he would be making regular appearances for both shows and both networks. But the timing ended up not working out, because right around the time Roman became double champion, his later schedule also came into play. So the network ended up getting screwed the most out of this entire situation was USA Network. They thought they would be getting Roman Reigns to appear regularly on their show, but instead, he's only made 2 or 3 appearances on Raw since WrestleMania. Roman still makes appearances for Smackdown, but Raw has been out of the question for the most part for him since April. So that leaves Raw with no Roman Reigns and no world title. And you can understand USA Network's frustration because they've been dealing with a lot of part-time world champions on Raw in recent years. Over the last near decade, Brock Lesnar has had several part-time reigns as Raw's world champion. So all these reigns left Raw without a world title on the show for a long time. So it's getting to the point where they appear to be a little fed up and just want a world title on Raw full time. Fightful reports that after USA Network realized that Roman would be a part-time champion for them too, they pitched to WWE for Raw to have an interim world champion. So basically, just a full-time world champion and world title on Raw, until whenever WWE decides to split the undisputed title up again. It was just an idea USA Network had, but you can see why WWE didn't want to do that. It would just be too messy, having basically 3 world titles for 2 shows. But there are some rumors going around that the split of the undisputed WWE title may be happening soon. Maybe it'll happen before November, because the main event of Survivor Series over the last few years has always been world champion versus world champion. It's kind of hard to do that match when one man has both titles. So maybe the split will happen sometime in the back half of 2022, but it's all just speculation right now. But USA Network obviously has a point. Raw has been going on since April without truly having a main event world title or a main event program on their show. So they feel like once Raw gets a world title back to a full-time superstar, that'll really improve Raw because now you'll have a world champion and main event storyline to focus Raw around. USA Network may not be getting their request for an interim Raw champion, but they may get their WWE title back over these next few months. Who should be the champion once Raw gets their title back? A lot of fans are suggesting Seth Rollins. He's been doing some incredible work over the last few years in some non-title feuds. So there's a lot of fans out there that want to see another current-day world title reign for Seth Rollins. He hasn't held a world title since late 2019 and hasn't held any title at all since early 2020, when he lost the Raw Tag Team titles with Murphy. So Seth Rollins is a good choice for a strong full-time world champion on Raw, but we'll have to see how that unfolds over the next few months. Liv Morgan's next challenger for Clash at the Castle is set. She'll be facing Shayna Baszler. The scene right now with the Smackdown Women's Championship has a lot going on. You have Shayna Baszler back in a strong position, of being the #1 contender for a world title. Definitely a move coming from Triple H. He's a big supporter of Shayna and helped her achieve greatness during her NXT run. So maybe Triple H wants to get her back on that same sort of track on Smackdown. Then you have Ronda Rousey's return. Michael Cole stressed that Ronda was suspended for the week, so they never confirmed it, but it sounds like it was only a 1-week suspension, and Ronda could be back as soon as this upcoming week. Ronda isn't gonna fade quietly into the shadows when she returns, not at all. She's gonna be still heated about the SummerSlam finish, because she legitimately should have won that match and be the new champion. She saw the replay, commentators saw the replay, we saw the replay, everyone saw the robbery that happened to Ronda at SummerSlam. So she's obviously going to have a problem with Adam Pearce and WWE officials just moving on from that incident and finding a new #1 contender. She's going to have a lot to say about that situation. And it's going to get tricky too, because the new #1 contender, Shayna Baszler, is Ronda's best friend. So will that entire situation cause cracks in their friendship as well? If Ronda's case is that Shayna shouldn't be #1 contender, that'll obviously cause conflict between the two close friends. Ronda is also expected to be at Clash at the Castle, so will she explain her case and be inserted into the SmackDown women's title match at Clash at the Castle? It's a possibility. Then not to mention that you have a threat of Charlotte Flair also returning any day to SmackDown. Charlotte is obviously going to come back trying to reclaim her title as well. So Liv Morgan could potentially be protecting her title reign from big names like Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Charlotte Flair. Now Liv is hurt, she's dealing from this arm injury from Ronda Rousey, so it's going to be hard to outlast Shayna and potentially a furious Ronda Rousey. So it does make you question if Liv will dig down deep to outlast these former champions by whatever means. So does Liv try to pull off another dirty win to retain her title at Clash at the Castle? Did the SummerSlam accidental win sort of open up Liv's eyes on trying to cheat and pick up these dirty wins? It'll be interesting to see if Liv's character will lean over to the heel side just a bit to survive challengers like Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. So it's a real scary time for Liv Morgan's title reign. You have these 3 huge names of Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Charlotte Flair all breathing down your neck, waiting for you to slip up so that they can take that title away from you. Usually, babyface champions don't cheat to win, but if Liv Morgan walks into Clash at the Castle with only one arm against Shayna Baszler, that obviously seems like a big disadvantage and mismatch. So if Liv is selling that injury at Clash at the Castle, you just have to assume that she has to find another way to survive. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.